evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 8, Episode 25, DJI Status in the USA Update. How is everyone doing? I was fooled because my title didn't have Season 8 in it. Sorry about that, guys. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Gonna talk, got a very special clip from a week ago tonight. I'm going to show you guys at the end of the show for our sports segment, so stay tuned for all that. Let's see who all is in the house. I know you guys have gotten here early. Joan Shots, Bud Bieber. Let's see. Richard is here. Art's here. King Dog is here, and Koopy. Wow. Okay. Just to give you guys an update here, I brought back an unexpected gift from South Florida, and a very unwelcome one, COVID-19. Pretty much had a miserable weekend with coughing. It's great. When you have, I have a good medical provider. I have a good primary care physician, but when you have to call after hours and deal with them after hours, you don't always get the best people to cover. And one of the problems was I needed cough medicine. I needed cough medicine with codeine. Well, pharmacies are real dicey about that because it's a controlled substance and a lot of them don't carry it anymore. Well, fortunately, I found one here locally that does, Publix, okay? Well, it seemed that the on-call provider license didn't allow her, DEA license didn't allow her to prescribe it, so she had to ping somebody else. So I didn't sleep for one night, almost 24 hours. I didn't get sleep until I finally got some of that. So yeah, and it was a holy mess. And then she wouldn't get me Paxlovid because my temperature was normal. Well, my temperature got up to 100. I'm like, okay. So I got Paxlovid prescribed for me. So yeah. So yeah, and then you know what? I'm such a giving person, and I love to share things. Well, unfortunately, this is something I shared with my beautiful wife. First time, this is the second time for me. First time for her having COVID-19. And she was able to get Paxlovid. She started pretty much right away. I had to wait a day. She's run a little bit of fever. Been resting most of the day today. So, and unfortunately, I don't have time to take off from work. So while I'm sick as a dog, I have to work. So yeah, so all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, we're there. Let's see who all. Joe's here. Joe, hope you're doing well. Trini's here. Welcome, Trini. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got in the house here. Casey Crimefighter, welcome. Good to see you. Fly Guy Merrill. See who else we got in here. Yeah, it is Casey Crimefighter. I'm telling you, it just, yeah. I do as well. And see, I have a real good idea where I picked it up. I had to make on my way back from South Florida, instead of going interstate, which I really disdain I-75 between Naples and Tampa. It's just crazy. So I take US Route 27 up, and then I cut through some back roads after that, which is much better. There are some places to stop. Well, the places to stop that I had to use the restroom at, I think that's where I ended up picking it up, unfortunately. I mean, I have hand sanitizer in the vehicle and everything. So anyway, all that kind of good stuff. Lauren, welcome. Good to see you here as well, too. Ron's going to join us here in a little bit. And at the very end tonight, I'm going to show you a video that I shot during my attending Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals last week. So stay tuned for that. We'll do that at the end of the show because that's really kind of like sports talk and not drone talk. So, but yeah. So I'm going to be drinking a lot tonight. So bear with me here for a second. I want to thank you guys for watching my rebroadcast with Sally French last week. I watched part of it. It is a great episode. You really learn a lot how about things were about 5 years ago. I mean, things have really changed. So but we do have a lot to talk about. Thank you, Art. Yeah, it's just they played exceptionally well, and like I said, we'll get a little bit more sports talk near the end of the show here. But MHM, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Okay. First thing I wanted to talk about tonight. Let's see. Yeah, Drone DJ has a good article up here, and we're going to share this. Oh, okay, Lauren. Thank you. We'll look forward to Ron sharing something, a little gem here when he gets on with us. So, okay. Now there's an article here, and and again, excuse me, I'm still very nasal. My cough is a productive one right now, so I really sound. I feel and sound the same way, just to let everybody know. Okay. What drone should you buy right now, summer 2025? And this article gets at best of the Mavics. The Mavic 4 Pro is top of the line, but the Mavic 3 Pro is still listed for sale on DJI's website. Stepping down is the Air 3S and the Mini 4 Pro. Best beginner drone. They talk about the Neo and the Flip. Best enthusiasts. Talking about best professional is the Inspire 3. And of course, we all know that's a $16,000 price tag. Best overall is the Air 3S. And I kind of, it kind of would boil down to something like that as well, too. And I agree for right now. An honorable mention just for fun, the Avata 2, that people have really enjoyed that. So we'll kind of see where that ends up going. But yeah, so, and that's right. Thank you, Art, for doing that. That Oklahoma City Thunder, NBA champs. Wow. Okay. All right. So that's a quick guide to drones, if you can be able to buy them, and that's a whole nother subject in and of itself. We're obviously going to be spending some time talking about that. So let's see here. Now, this other article on Drone DJ, let me go ahead and share my screen here. And thank you guys for bearing with me tonight. I'm still not quite there. DJI Mini 3 drone sees rare price cut amid U.S. supply crunch. You get the Mini 3 Fly More combo for $629, marked down from $719, 13% off. If you're looking for something even more budget-friendly, Mini 3 with RC N1 remote controllers available for $369, down from $419. So there's some price savings to be had for that. And this art tells you, if you're looking at both of the combos, and it kind of gives you some decision points as far as choosing which kind of drone you would want to do. So that's something to kind of keep in mind there with all of this. Oh, that's good, MHM. Thank you for sharing that. One of the other things that I wanted to share that's not sports related. Well, it kind of is sports related, but it's sports/drone related. I don't know if any of you know, and he lives in Southeast Florida, Bobby Zahedi. He actually flies drones for the Panthers, and he flew one during inside the arena during the celebration last year. Well, he did the same again this year too. I didn't get a chance to see that, and if you watch the celebration video clip, not the one that I'm going to show tonight, but if you watch the one that was from the national broadcast, they used live footage from his drone, which was super cool. It was fantastic. But yeah, I kind of wanted to get a plug in for that as well too here. So all right, okay. Now there is some actual news about some releases coming up, non-drone releases, and this was out on Drone XL from Jasper Ellens. Release dates of the Osmo 360, Osmo Nano, and Mic 3 leaked. And let's take that. Osmo 360 first up to be released July 15th. It's only 5 weeks away. The possible teaser around the 8th of the month. Okay. I've seen footage of the Osmo 360 where the camera quality outshines the Insta360 X5. Could DJI pull it off? 5 weeks, we'll know for sure. At this moment, we've not yet found specs or shop listings, but I'm sure we'll find out within a couple of weeks. Release is now imminent, as Osito would say. Okay, and there's some more. There's some pictures of that right there. Osmo Nano will be releasing soon after that. Looks like just about a week after that, on July 23rd, 2025. There are hardly any images of the Nano yet, but FCC records below suggest we can expect a very small modular design reminiscent of the Action 2. And apparently, this is Insta360 that's on this young lady right here, this picture right here. And another group of people DJI might be targeting with the Nano are the true FPV flyers and builders of drones, because they're always looking to capture the best image with the smartest camera possible. Okay, and here's some images that Jasper had posted out there. New cameras need better audio. DJI Mic 3 early FCC files indicate that the Mic 3 package will include a new receiver with a squircle-shaped display and a charging case, but apart from the FCC files, haven't had visual proof of existence. The only thing I include from the FCC label is the size will probably shrink to a size more like DJI Mic Mini. So that's what we're getting with that. Along with the Mic 2, now over a year old, and the Mic Mini, only 6 months old, DJI has decided to release the Mic 3 on July 29th. Not sure why these products aren't launched on the same date, but I assume DJI is focused on releasing as many products as possible on the American market while it's still feasible, given the unpredictable situation. Concluding release dates and incoming leaks here. DJI Mini 5 Pro FCC made the LiDAR Mini official, but wait, is that the Neo 2? I see next to the Avata 3. You can see there's some more leaks right there as well. So there's a lot coming up on the plate right here. So this is going to be real interesting to see how all this ends up panning out. I really, really, really don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, John, I'm the same way. My enthusiasm is just like none right now. Okay. Absolutely, positively none. Okay, Casey Crime Fighter, thank you for sharing that. That's real good. So we'll see. But I'm like John. I have no excitement right now until we start seeing some clear headway. And we'll find out what Ron's going to be sharing with us tonight. But and speaking of gems, there he is himself.
Hello, Bill. Sorry I'm a little late tonight. I was doing some shopping in a DJI store.
Did they have anything?
Yeah, I haven't got much of an order put in. Yeah, it's the same as yesterday. The store is empty. But all the joking around, how you feeling tonight, Bill?
Well, Valerie's got COVID, and she started on Plaxovid a day earlier than I did. I was miserable this weekend. Cough medicine drama with my provider. Finally got it, but I didn't sleep for 24 hours. Just trying to catch up on sleep. And unfortunately, I have no PTO time to take off from work. So I'm having to work while I'm not feeling well, which is always wonderful. But we're making progress here. It's in inches, not in feet, but heading in the right direction, so to speak. So
when did you first start feeling sick, Bill?
It was on Friday, Saturday. I started coughing like crazy, and then real runny nose, and then it just went full blown, and my temperature went up. So after my and then I tried to get from my provider Plaxovid, and because my temperature was normal, she wouldn't give it to me. So the next day I called when I finally got the prescription for cough medicine with codeine. I told her my temperature was up, so she gave me a prescription for Paxlovid. Okay. And then we had to go round and round to try to find a place that had Paxlovid in stock for Valerie when she was able to get her prescription for it. So it was just like, man, it's just one thing leads to another. What can I say? What can I say?
Right. Well, so, at least you got the Stanley Cup champs T-shirt out of the deal.
Yes, we got that. I got another one, and I got a very special clip we're going to play at the end of the show here from when I went to the game. Lauren said you have a gem to share with us.
Yeah, Lauren shared with me today. You know, I don't know if I'll be able to call it up, but you know, we're expecting the little Beecopter mini drone to arrive in June. That's what they said for the people that you know, did the crowdsource funded thing back in either it was the beginning of April, I believe, end of March. And you know, we're already, you know, today's already the 24th, and it's only 30 days in June, so we have 6 days left. But Lauren shared a little tidbit with me from you know, that the drone, you know, it's going to be, you know, kind of held up in customs or whatever, and so we won't be seeing the drone until you know, July. The little Beecopter mini drone. So you know, they're having some of the same issues that, you know, some of the other Chinese drones are having, that they're having customs problems.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought here. So we got some. We're gonna kind of encompass all this right here with DJI status in the USA, and we're gonna do an update here. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the Mini 5 Pro, and Jasper Allen's had some more information on that. Yes. And I wanted to get out here and get and share this information out here with everybody. If you want, DJI is going to release the Osmo 360 Nano and Mic 3 in July, and we just covered that. The release date of the Mini 5 Pro. Tried to double check the date, but not succeed in doing so. But because said bird has always been my well-informed source, this has never been wrong, I'm going to spill the tea anyway. Mini 5 Pro set for August 7th. I will start with the bomb you've all been waiting for. A Mini 5 Pro set to release August 7th, 2025. You're not delayed. That's only 7 weeks away, so we're pretty excited about it coming up early. Sadly, other than the date, my friend couldn't tell me anything else about the Mini 5 Pro. Luckily for all of us, some Chinese influencers made some mistakes this week. So at last, we'll have 2 accidental pictures of the upcoming Mini 5. There's one here. DJI Mini 5 recent prototype spotted. There's another picture right here.
That's the old picture.
Yeah, and that's the old picture with the LiDAR sensors in the front. And there we are again with these 2 pictures. But wait, another.
But before you go on, do you think we're really that the final selling one's going to have those prop guards on it?
I think those are just for show. I think that isn't for go. I mean, they'll probably be optional. You probably be able to take them on and off, but I think as it comes, I don't think you'll see that with that on there. And I think what we're seeing right here in this little inset in this picture right here, I think this is pretty much going to be like a finalized version of it, what it's going to look like. And I think it looks a little wider normally than what some of the other minis. With the Mini 5 Pro release,
we've heard that it's going to be a bigger footprint.
Right. July might be the day DJI will tease us with the official Mini 5. 31st July might be the day DJI will tease us with the official Mini 5 Pro teaser. Timeline also matches with, it's probably the reason why DJI is already selling the DJI Mini 4s and Mini 3s with crazy discounts, okay? Which is true, okay? But, you know, we're going to, and I want to get to this next article here before we begin a discussion. You know, and one of the things that, let's see here. Okay. And Ron alluded to this, and I went out there myself today. Every DJI drone is out of stock on the company's online store. And I went out and verified it out there, and I looked, everything is not out of stock. It's not available when you go out there.
Yeah, every drone. If you look real hard, you can find a few things like some of the Mic 2 kits are available, like the phone gimbals available in some forms. There are some things, but no drones.
Yes, no drones on this as well. And let's see here. There's another.
Bill, have you heard of it? We've all heard of instances where DJI drones are being held in customs, right, all across the country, right?
Right.
Have we ever heard of an instance where a non-DJI product got held at customs? Like, remember at the holidays, everybody bought the Power 1000 when it was on sale. I don't remember one person saying their Power 1000 got held in customs or anything else. There, Mike's.
I got mine in 2 days when I ordered it.
Yeah, and Mike's cameras, nothing else is being held from DJI but the drones, right? So it sounds like it's a DJI drone ban, but not a DJI tech ban.
Right. Now, there's a white paper that came out.
But the strange thing is you can't get the Action 5 Pro. It's not available on the site though.
Yeah. And that's kind of funny. That doesn't fit the rhyme or the reason or the pattern here. And you can see right here, new DJI report highlights major drone privacy upgrades, privacy by design, controlled by the user. Essential theme in the white paper is DJI's belief that users should remain in control of their data. And device security starting at the chip level, application hardening and SDK oversight, communication security, OcuSync and 4G protected, cloud and offline data management, independent audits and certifications, bug bounty and community collaboration, which DJI was paying people to find bugs up to $30,000, meeting the moment. And to explore the full scope of DJI security architecture and see exactly what your data is protected, you can download and read the complete drone security white paper right here. And it's over 100 pages. So, you can read that at your leisure if you want to do something like that. But I mean, this is pretty comprehensive, Ron. They really covered everything from A to Z and soup to nuts. It covers everything. They don't leave any stone unturned with all of this.
Yeah, all. I mean, we're kind of preaching to the choir here. We all know this and whatever, but it doesn't seem like our politicians and decision makers know all this about all the stuff DJI does for privacy.
Now, our good friend Casey Crimefighter dropped a comment in here that this process that the federal government wants to go through to check DJI out will take at least 6 months. All right.
Right.
So, it's and there's been no word if this has actually started or not. Okay.
Yeah, and we don't know if there will be a word, or like we don't know if we'll ever know anything until the test is done.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Dre's saying his Power 2000 was returned to China on the original shipment. So
okay, all right. Thank you, Dre, for that. So, and I know, and I watched some of your guys' show, and you guys had a great discussion here. This is a gray area for us. All of us who have been following drones for as long as we have, and knowing what we've seen before and everything, this is new territory for us, Ron. We've never encountered anything like this before. And, one of the things that we've been consistently used to over the years is there's been no rhyme or reason from DJI with their marketing and their marketing practices and everything. And then now they're just shutting down pretty much everything as far as availability of the United States is concerned.
Yeah, and Bill Thomas sent me a little thing he got from Dale, his friend Dale, who has a DJI dealership, and he said even the dealers are being told that this stuff won't be restocked. That they probably the dealers say they may never see another DJI product. That's somebody's livelihood they're taking away, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, DroneWorks and other places like that who employ a lot of people, here in the United States and other organizations like them. I mean, it's people make a living from this, and batteries are needed, propellers are needed. I mean, for all these drones that are currently in stock right now. And what happens? Do people have to go aftermarket, go out on eBay, go overseas to buy some of these accessories? I mean,
Yeah.
how does that happen?
I see John Coopy's in the chat. John Coopy shared this. He made in the Facebook groups. He shared it in the Drone Nation group. He had a story where a gentleman had ordered the Mavic 4 Pro, Bill, from over out of the country. I don't know where he got it from, Korea, Canada, but he got a Mavic 4 Pro, and unfortunately, he dropped the Mavic 4 Pro and broke the gimbal. Well, he contacted DJI, right, Bill? And DJI reluctantly said they would replace the drone for him, even though he did not buy from them, right? So he sends the broken drone back to DJI. They send him out a replacement unit, of course, from China. It gets stuck in customs in Kentucky and never gets through. So he contacted DJI and said about it got stuck, and DJI tried to do what they could do, but they couldn't make any progress. He said eventually DJI even stopped responding to their email because DJI's not going to give him his money back because they didn't buy the drone from him, right? They bought it from some eBay seller or something like that, so they're not going to refund any money to him, and the drone's stuck there. So he's out a $4,000 drone. DJI's out their replacement unit because it's stuck in customs. They may never get it back again. So that kind of paints a bad picture. And plus, Bill, okay, is our care refresh that we have on our current drones like the Air 3S, is it kind of useless? Because if we crashed it, we had to send it back, the replacement unit may not get through customs to us. So our care refresh may be useless at this point because
that's true.
We may not be able to get a replacement drone.
Now, when I got my replacement for the Air 3S, it came through Canada. So, I mean, that's a possibility.
And things have gotten worse since then. That was back in the fall. Things are worse now. That may have not got through now, Bill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're in what do you call code red here, as far as even our current drones may not really get, we may really not have the warranty, if we had care refresh regular warranty, because again, they can't send us replacement drones.
Well, and thank you guys in the chat, Koopy and Casey Crime Fighter, Bill Grace, everybody. Comments, you guys are really very, very, very well done. Thank you for that.
And John Koopy saying in the chat that the warranty shipment came from Canada and got stopped.
Yep. Well, and this harkens to the fact, and I know you guys talked about this last night, and I still want to bring this up, is, the whole onus is they want, and meaning they, and they're talking our government wants to see a U.S. company, make drones. Okay. And you know what? I think we're all in favor of that. I don't think anybody here would disagree, but and I think Lauren probably said it last night, it would probably take at least 4 to 5 years to get drones the level of what we're used to with DJI from a U.S. manufacturer.
Yeah, so why not wait to do the ban in 4 or 5 years when the American drones are ready?
Exactly. When American drones are ready to go, when they've been out there, they've been tested, and they're every bit as good as a DJI product, go ahead and do that then. But until then, don't do this. You're the one of the big things for me, Ron, is, and I'm looking at this from a first responder type of perspective, because I know there's a lot of organizations out there, not in the state of Florida, because they can't use them in the state of Florida anymore, but other states use DJI drones for first responders. They save lives. I mean, it's, part of
your point is people are going to die in the next few years, Bill, because they don't have the drones.
Exactly.
Ray sent us a Facebook message. I'll check it out.
Yeah, and Casey Crump, that's a good point. That they're going to be helping them with funding. but I think one of the big things that I'm concerned about is, you know, the electronics, the motors, the batteries. Okay, who's going to be making all of that technology? Who's the best in the world at it? Okay, the Chinese are. All right, and the other thing is, all right, you're all hepped up on this. Why don't we have an American manufacturer making smartphones? Okay, all right, you know, we have Samsung over over
Well,
in
I mean,
Korea.
Apple's an American company, but they just don't make the product here, which is
Yeah,
common.
Apple
Which is
makes
common.
the
Like
iPhones over in
GoPro's an
China.
American company, but the cameras aren't put together here.
And and I'll go a step further. My HP computer that I'm using right now, made over in China. Okay, I mean, you know, when does it end? I mean, it really, it's all encompassing, Ron. It really is. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, and the always begs the question: why did all the bands have to start with drones? Why didn't they start with cell phones or computers? What who pinned the tail on a donkey and said, "Well, the first Chinese things we're going to ban is drones"? Who made that? Why was that call made?
you know, and I'm gonna say this, okay, in 107 drones, this is not, there's not one person or party that's responsible for this. This started years ago, before anybody was in, before the current administration was in power. Okay, this has been going on. This discussion has been going on for quite some time, and you know, we're not going to get into a blame game here. We're just, you know, if you really, you know, Ron, if you really want to come down to it, all right, you know, our good buddy from Skydio was probably the one, was probably a great influencer on this.
A lot of
And
people
getting,
blame him. Yep, yep.
yeah, and a lot of people point the finger at him. I know Original Dobo does, for starting the ball rolling on all this. And you know, all these are unfounded. Okay, all of this is unfounded. As far as the security concerns are, Ron, nothing
Right.
has ever been proven regarding that. Nothing.
Right. Back to the bigger discussion, the Mini 5. Somebody reported last night in the show, I think it was John Coopy. If it wasn't John, sorry, somebody reported that the Mini 5 had already got FCC approval. So that means if the drone comes out and you buy it from a South Korean company or in Canada, it would be legal in the US because it has been approved by the FCC. But that may be the last drone that gets FCC approval, because I think if nobody does that inspection by December, at that point, DJI won't be able to get any future drones through the FCC thing, right? So that means you won't even be able to bring them in from other countries and fly them. You understand where I'm going with that, Bill?
Yeah, I do. I do.
So the Mini 5 Pro may be the last drone you see get FCC approval from DJI. So and you know, it's a two-tier thing, Bill. Even though the DJI, that date in December hasn't hit yet, where the drone has to be inspected or they're banned, but we're in a kind of soft ban from customs now. So right now, it's not that thing hasn't taken effect yet, but we still can't get drones because of the soft ban of the U.S. Customs Department. So really, you know, according to the FCC, we're still legal to fly these drones that we can't get now, but customs won't let them in. And then come December, if that thing doesn't happen, then the FCC won't approve drones, and of course, customs isn't letting in. So I mean, the total ban is really coming at the end of December if that test doesn't happen.
Exactly. You know,
but we're in the shadow ban now, so I mean,
right.
we're
You know,
really no
this whole
better
thing
off
with
now.
the,
Except okay,
this whole thing with like the Uyghurs and
we can smuggle drones in from other countries now and still fly them legally or whatever, but we won't be able
right.
to
I
do
mean,
that.
if you wanted to go up to Canada, buy one, you know, and pay duties and customs on it when you bring it back through, more power to you. Okay.
Right, you can activate it from DJI. You can register it. You can get you can go to drone.com and do everything you do. You can, right, but
Right. There's more power
because the
to
drone
you
had FCC approval.
for doing something like that. You know, one of the things this, you know, if you want to look at a specific person, Elise Stefaniak, she's the one that started the whole process rolling as far as a bill was concerned to outright ban DJI drones. And then it's kind of morphed and changed into several things. And, it's taken a whole mind of its own, so to speak, Ron. And it's really kind of morphed into this one now where one of the alphabet agencies is going to take a look at it. It's going to take a few months, and then they'll make a decision on whether or not, DJI drones are secure or are not secure. And based upon that decision, the federal government will act accordingly. So we don't know.
Look at I'm going to pronounce the gentleman's name wrong. Femi Omamo. He has a good question there.
That is a good question.
And Bill, that makes I've been thinking about that myself. I'm glad he brought that up. We say we're drone, right, Bill? We say we're drone fans. We say we're drone hobbyists. But when it comes right down to it, Bill, we're not necessarily drone hobbyists. We're DJI hobbyists. I mean,
exactly.
for you and me, without DJI, there is no hobby. I mean, I don't really, outside doing testing purposes, I don't really fly anything else. So to me, DJI is the hobby. It's not drones. It's DJI.
I just had Holy Stone send me a drone to review, and I know I know what it's going to do. Okay. I already know the whole thing. I mean, there's a $400 drone.
You're outside of the review, you're never going to fly it again, right?
Right. I'm going to fly it once for a review video, and then I'll probably end up selling it on eBay. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And, and I can tell you this, the camera's going to be so
drone hobbyists. We're DJI hobbyists.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Here.
But we'll have to all get through. He's right. We'll have to all become 3D printer experts. I'm kind of unlike. Well, you do a little bit, but unlike say you and Marcus, I already do a lot of action camera stuff. I already do a lot of non-drone reviews and tutorials on my channel. But I have to admit, they don't get the views that the drone videos do.
Well, yeah. See, I do a lot of technical reviews, and then I also have my ham radio channel, and I also have Bill of Technology reviewer as well too. And I can easily shift and adapt, my channels to pick up things that are technology based, like computers, like printers, cameras, all that gear. Okay. But these guys who are doing this full time, wow, that's a real like Russ or Dobo or
all those guys too. I know a lot of the big channels. They still get DJI affiliate links and that stuff like that, or if they're using Amazon, those guys, all that affiliate money is gone because most of their viewers are in the U.S. and so those guys make thousands of dollars a year on affiliate money. That's all gone because you can't drop a link for something your customers can't buy.
Exactly. We're at a point right now that, the news is not good. And I would say one of my pieces of advice right now, Ron, to everybody is to go ahead and go out there for the drones that you have. If you're able to get extra batteries and props, do it. Just go out there and do that. And don't worry about new drones. Don't worry about build up your existing.
And don't waste any more money buying Care Refresh because you replace it, may not be able to get to you.
Yeah, that would be where I would go right now. We're going to talk about the Mini 5 Pro when it comes out, obviously, but we're probably going to be faced. I mean, it's probably going to be the same thing. We're
going to know before that, Bill, because the schedule for July. There's going to be a product coming every week from DJI. The Osmo 360 on approximately 715, the Nano on approximately 723, the Mic 3 on approximately 729, and now the Mini 5 on approximately 87. That's 4 weeks in a row. We should be seeing new products released from DJI, according to the rumors and
Mhm.
leaks or whatever. So we'll know, we'll see the dominoes fall, Bill. If all those products come out, one by one, not available in the US, we know, right? We'll know something, Bill, right? Well,
Oh,
we'll know what Bill already
exactly.
is here now.
Exactly. We'll know at this point in time, what the future is for this. But,
Like if
you
those
know,
first three products aren't available in the US, it's 100% guaranteed the Mini 5 won't be.
exactly. And well, we take a look right now. I know yesterday somebody said, yeah, that they went out there and briefly their products were available on the website, but back to today, and there's nothing out there. So, this
Yeah.
is, like we said, this is a time to focus on what you have. I mean, and I hate to harp on this quote. I know Dobo has always said, "Fly what you got," and this is an instance where he is so right now.
Yeah,
Because
but you have to put an extra waiver on that. Fly what you got, but be real careful with it. Don't wreck it because there's no replacements. Fly what you got, but fly very carefully.
don't fly with abandon. Okay,
Yeah,
and make sure if you can, if you could buy like another mini 4K if they're available, do it, or a backup drone, do it if you can do that right now.
Maybe buy prop guards for all your drones.
Or prop guards, buy those as well too, and make sure that if your drone has obstacle avoidance that it's on. I would avoid things like don't be doing sport flying right now because that shuts off obstacle avoidance. I mean, these are just some tips I'm throwing out here as we're going along here, because you need to really guard that with all you can. Now, if for me, if I would crash something, State Farm would cover it. That's great. Can I get another Air 3S?
Yeah, they may give you money, but that money won't do you any good. You won't be able to get another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's dicey whether Adorama or B&H or
They're all out now too. They don't have any now.
and they don't have any. That means Amazon doesn't have any either.
Look at Jose Luna's comment in the chat. It's like 4 things back. He said he lives near Detroit. He ordered a 4 Pro and had delivered to a friend in Canada and had to go pick it up. And that's great, Jose. I'm happy for you. But here's the thing we talked about before. This is like buying a FEMI or a Hubsan drone now. You have absolutely no support after you buy that drone. That drone's yours or whatever. If you crash or even if something goes wrong, something doesn't work on it, it's yours. You don't, calling DJI, it probably not. Well, unless like I said, you have to go across the Canada and get the replacement one. But for most of us, it's like how FEMI drone. Once you buy the FEMI, it's yours. FEMI doesn't want to hear from you. So that's the way it is now. You buy these drones and support ends the day the drone arrives.
Well, and this is a good point here to talk about this, Ron, is all these guys I mean, well, I love Mark Fisher. I love him to pieces. Just a great guy, okay? But I'm sure he paid a premium price to get his when he went to New York City, all right? And if something happens to it, he can't replace it.
And they made him buy Care Refresh Share, which is nice. But the thing is, if he needs a replacement drone set, it's a good chance it won't reach him. It'll be stuck in the local customs office. So he basically paid the Care Refresh. That money, he might as well just threw it out the window, probably.
And I want to spend a minute talking about this whole customs issue that
right now, that's the number one issue. Maybe not be in 6 months when the ban happens, but right now the customs issue is our main issue.
It is, and they've proven that the DJI, where they make the drones, Uyghurs don't live in those areas where DJI make those drones, which are in Shenzhen and over in Malaysia. Uyghurs don't live there, so it's unfounded at this point, and it's kind of a moot point
to the choir again. We all know you're right about that, Bill, but Stefanik and her bunch, they don't want to know it or don't want to hear it.
Yep, that's exactly right. And this is why, they're putting the pressure through customs to do all this. And it's just, it's just gotten nasty, Ron. It's just gotten really nasty.
MAH Photography has, well, we still get regular firmware updates to the drones. Yeah, I don't, I don't see why they would go to the trouble of, not letting them be on the internet to come to the U.S. I mean, I don't, I think it'd be more trouble them to stop the U.S. from getting updates and just not do anything at all.
Yeah.
Of course, but the older our drones get, the older models get less firmware updates. So, like, if you have an older drone like the Mini 2, it's not getting any more firmware updates. Even
exactly.
Things like the Mini 3, probably not. Even a lot of the older drones, they're not getting them now. Whatever. Sure, the Air 3S is still kind of new. It's still getting firmware updates. And Mini 4 Pro, but the Mini 4 Pro, it won't get as many firmware updates once the Mini 5 is out.
Exactly.
So these older drones, again, you really the firmware updates get less and less every year as they age.
And you reach a point of saturation, and you reach a point of obsolescence. Like the Phantom 4 Pro is, their service is going to be stopping on that, I think, now in June or July.
Yeah. Look at Bill Grace's comment. He says, a backup, I have the Mavic 4 Pro insured by State Farm. And that's great. But we heard that the State Farm won't insure us. That's good news that they are insuring it. But the thing is, Bill, you may get, if you crash or whatever, you may get the insurance money back to the drone, but you probably won't, you may not be able to purchase another one, is the problem. Purchase it and get it through customs and all that.
Yeah. And
so,
Casey,
I'm sure people are getting them through now from sources, but I'm sure that's going to tighten down, Bill. I think it's going to be even harder to get drones from other countries going forward. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think going to tighten the news going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's, where we're at right now, it's a very, it seems like it changes on a weekly basis what's going on.
It does. Yeah.
And
whatever we believe this week may not be what's happening next week.
They may all of a sudden next week you may see, the floodgates are open and you can buy products again through DJI, and suppliers are getting theirs.
Only if the customs guys get paid off.
Yeah.
Only if you see the guy running customs run around with a big envelope of money.
That's a good question, Waypoint New England.
That's one of those questions. You ask that question, you'll get a whole bunch of different answers.
Yeah, and one thing I can tell you about that is historically, a lot of people, I still have a Phantom 4 group that I created years ago, and people have been asking about batteries. And typically what happens is they've gone out to Amazon to buy batteries that are available on Amazon. And because they've been sitting there so long, they're almost dead. Okay. Yeah. So, but conversely, do you keep them at like a 60% charge? There's all kind of schools of thought.
You're going to get so many different answers or whatever to that question. And here's another thing, Bill. If you go on Amazon or eBay or something like that, there's a whole bunch of third-party company makes batteries for the popular drones. Like if you have an older drone and you can't get the batteries from DJI anymore, there's a whole bunch of people making third-party batteries for it. And I know that's a whole other discussion too. Some people have horror stories about third-party batteries, but other people use them just fine. So, but there are many third-party battery options for popular drones, even older popular drones.
Well, we're going to kind of wrap things up with this. Is say, if you can get batteries and accessories for your existing drones, do them right now. That's our best piece of advice.
Especially if you're looking for DJI official parts.
Right. You don't want to get the aftermarket batteries. I can tell you that right now. They're bad news. But if you can get official DJI batteries, props, those would be probably the two main items that you should do. Do it right now. Pay attention to what's going on out there. Drone Nation and Rotor Talk and the other shows, we'll keep you guys updated on everything that's going on here. So,
and like you said before, everything goes on changes almost by the hour.
Exactly.
And usually not for the better. Bill.
Well, now we're going to get to the point of the show. We're going to talk about what I did last Tuesday night. Okay. And I'm going to show a very special clip right here.
Thursday night. You said Tuesday, Thursday night.
Well, yeah. I'm my timing.
Right. I know you're all, coveted up there, but last Tuesday we did the show. No, you did. Anyhow, you went to the game Thursday night, game 6, right?
This was game 6. And what I'm going to show you is the last 2 minutes of the game here. This was taken from my seat.
On your cell phone?
From my cell phone.
Who's in white? Florida?
Edmonton's in white.
Okay. Somebody stood up in front of you. How many goals has that been down to this point?
It was 5-1 at that point.
Okay. Right. So Florida's totally playing defense. They're not worried about shooting the puck or anything.
And they kept the 4th line out there. They didn't have the star players out there for both teams, which was smart.
Oh, there they go. Is this the first time somebody's won back-to-back cups in a while, Bill?
What's that, Ron?
Is this the first time somebody's won back-to-back Stanley Cups in a while?
Yeah, it's been – well, Tampa did it in 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
And then before that was Pittsburgh in 2016 and 2017.
Okay.
Now, what was amazing about all this was, and it kind of continues on here, the gloves and the sticks on the ice, they had the ice crew come out there with these big shovels and buckets, and literally they just poured them into the buckets so they could deal with them later. And then they had it set up to where they did the handshake line, and you could see from this perspective, and I'll try to advance it. This is what it looked like at that point, where they shake hands at the end of the game, and you could see the guys in their carts. They're trying to pick up all their stuff there.
All the gear,
yeah. And then, well, it took 20 after they brought the Stanley Cup out. It took 20 minutes for all the players to skate around. They gave it to each player, and they skated around with it. But what I thought was really nice was the captain of the team gets the Stanley Cup first, and then they gave it to all the newbies, the first-year players on the Panthers, skate with the cup first, which was great.
Did you see Alex Esparta's comment? He said, after Reinhardt's 4th goal, I was able to relax and enjoy.
Exactly, Alex. Same for me as well too. What was really unfortunate was Valerie had to work and couldn't go with me. So that was a real kind of a bummer, but I was real happy to be able to see something like that in person, because you don't get it. It's not often you get a chance to see your team win a championship in person. And I was able to do that, which was wonderful. Right. I went down to the team store to try to get a T-shirt afterwards. The line was an hour and a half long to get into the team store.
Wow.
So I forgot that. So, but all in all, it was a great experience. I'm really happy I did that. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I don't have any problem with that. Although I'm going to be making some payments for my ticket, to say the least. It was a healthy price. So, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great experience for you, Bill. I remember in my hometown, I grew up about 60 miles south of Philadelphia, and a lot of people from my hometown went in to see the Phillies win the World Series in '80. And a lot of members, like the great experience of their lives, they talked about going in and seeing the Phillies win that World Series, that final game. That's all they talked about for years.
Exactly.
That
You know, and
experience.
I've gone to 2 World Series games. I've been to some NFL playoff games. I'll never go to a Super Bowl because they're outrageous. This is the most affordable. I've been to now 7 Stanley Cup Finals games in my lifetime, and this is the first time I saw my team. I actually went in 2016 when the Penguins to Game 5 when the Penguins were in it against San Jose, and they could have won the cup that night, but they lost. So I didn't want history to repeat itself. So I'm real happy that
Probably the last Super Bowls you could afford was probably the Steelers' first 2 Super Bowl wins. You probably could have afforded those games.
Exactly. You have any closing thoughts for tonight, Ron?
Again, not really, because it's been, we're certainly not sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. We've been bad news this week and lately. So I don't want to, try to sugarcoat it here. It's not looking good. I hope, if you just enjoy flying drones, maybe you'll be able to fly those cheap drones, because Bill, it doesn't seem like so far the government's interested in cheap drones. Like you want to get a Potensic or a Phoebe or a Roku. They don't seem to be stopped at customs. The customs agents they're not really looking for Chinese drones, they're looking for DJI drones. So that's my thing. Go enjoy the cheap drones.
I'm going to echo what Ron said, and for your drones that you have, get batteries, get propellers, get other accessories that you need right now. That's the only thing I can tell you.
Don't take any risks when you're flying around.
Yes. Oh, and Captain Ray, no, it was a peaceful and calm afterwards. There were a lot of Oiler fans there, and everybody was nice. There was no problems after the game. So.
Hey, Bill, a little shout out here. USA drone flyer, Captain Joe America. Joe's been in the hospital. He fell last week while taking pictures, and he's got like a blood thing, like a hematoma on his leg or something. So I want to send thoughts and prayers out to Joe to get better and get out of that hospital down there in Louisiana.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Hope you have a quick recovery and get out of the hospital and get home. That's not good to hear. So, all right, guys, want to sign off for tonight. Thank you all. As always, guys, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.
Good night.